So
Okay, perfect.
Rashonda has to be on her
Yay.
way.
I do. Wait, I see now. I see you are in a practice session start webinar.
Oh,
Yeah, don't
Rashonda
start yet. Way.
I do. Wait, I see now. It's live on YouTube. We are live.
All right. Well, in true cat lady fashion, we are starting this with a bang. Hi, welcome. Hi everyone. Welcome to the Cat Ladies for Kamala Zoom call to
136 people.
action. My name is Lindsay Deming.
Well, that's Lindsay.
And if you're a panelist, if you could mute yourself, because we can hear you. Thank you. I am a white woman in my 30s. I have chin-length brown hair. I'm wearing glasses and a white shirt with black polka dots. I wish I could introduce my cat, Twee, but she's off doing her own thing right now, but I hope to show her to you later. Just a few notes on accessibility. We have ASL interpretation on this call. So you might hear folks pausing after they say their name. And I also want to teach you the sign for cat ladies that they taught to us. So we have to start with cat. So it's cat ladies. And then I also learned today the sign name for Kamala Harris. So we are the cat ladies for Kamala. So exciting. I also want to note we will be giving visual descriptions like you heard me just do, and that is because it helps paint a sketch of what folks are seeing. So those are some accessibility components. We thank you for making this an inclusive call. If you are in the Zoom webinar, please go to our YouTube because we have a limited capacity here. So please head over to the YouTube where the rest of the community is. Check your email. We sent out a link a little bit after 6 for the YouTube. And what that'll do is it will allow more people to kind of come into the Zoom and we can keep sending them over to YouTube. So that's where everyone is. I think that's about all of the housekeeping. So I want to start by saying, can you believe that only 2 weeks ago was when Joe Biden announced Kamala Harris and Win with Black Women had their historic Zoom call that raised $1.5 million on that historic night? And then we learned what kind of power you can get in your communities. And now it's only a natural conclusion that the cat ladies have gathered. It had to happen. And we are here with our claws out, which is our hashtag for the night, hashtag claws out 2024. We'll try to keep posting or reminding you about that, but claws out 2024, use it across social media channels so we can connect there. So I want to talk about who a cat lady is. If you're on the call right now, congratulations, you're a cat lady. You're a cat lady no matter what gender you are. You're a cat lady whether or not you have children. You're a cat lady no matter your relationship status, no matter the language you speak, the color of your skin, your ability, your income level, your immigration status. You can be a cat lady even if you have a dog. Because being a cat lady is a state of mind. And if you believe in reproductive freedom, equality, equity, fairness, truth, you are a cat lady. You know, the term has been used to denigrate women for centuries, but now we are taking it back like many have done before us. because there's nothing wrong with being a lady who loves and cares for the cutest, fiercest domestic animal there is. Being a cat lady simply means you're a caregiver. You're someone who gives care. I can't think of many higher ideals than that. The thing that cat ladies really care about right now, though, is making sure that Kamala Harris is elected president of the United States of America, and we can watch her get sworn into office on Inauguration Day, which happens to be Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 2025. So I just want to thank you all for being here tonight and showing up and committing to getting involved and making a donation, registering to vote, whatever that means to you. Thank you for being here. Hashtag Claws Out 2024. I'm going to hand it over to one of the co-founders of the Cat Ladies for Kamala call. There are many Cat Ladies for Kamala groups out there, but one of the co-founders of this call, Liv Carter.
Hello, hello. Oh, there's everybody. And Stella, who may or may not cooperate. Hey, everybody. My name is Liv Carter. I am a white woman with shoulder-length red hair. My background is the logo for the Harris campaign. And this is Stella, who her Instagram followers will know was running for president to be the first cat president. But she has now decided to suspend her campaign and will be endorsing Kamala. So we are all in this house. The first thing to say is really a massive thank you to everybody. We were not prepared for this response, even though we should know the internet is run by cats and their ladies of all genders. Truly thankful for the enormous response we got here. What's going to happen in the next few months is cat ladies of all genders are going to dream big, fight hard, and elect Kamala Harris. And as we know, when we fight, say it with me at home, we win. Thank you so much for all being here. I'm going to pass to our third co-founder, Blair.
Hi, everybody. My name is Blair Postman. I'm a 54-year-old, sort of a Italian, sort of Jewish looking white lady. I've got long brown hair that's up. I've got on a black turtleneck and like black horn-rimmed glasses, which proves that I am a feminist. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a comedian. I'm a recovering lawyer, profoundly ADHD, Gen X, fun aunt, and Jersey girl now living in Baltimore, which means that I will get to cast my vote this November for the next U.S. Senator from the state of Maryland, Angela Alsobrook, and P.S. Let's Go O's. And, you know, I'm just like a generally loud person. So I've volunteered in the past. I vote every election. I donate money. But I wanted to do a little bit more, whatever way I could, as not an official political person of any kind, frankly, to help stop those who would overthrow democracy and try to keep stripping all sorts of rights from Americans, you know, that we've fought very hard for over, honestly, hundreds of years. And I want to do this by electing our next president, Kamala Harris, as well as the House and Senate she'll need to help get important things done. So on top of everything else, when they started coming for cat ladies, which honestly, to me, was just a stand-in for anyone who didn't stay in the little boxes that the powers that be wanted us to keep ourselves in, you know, the claws came out. We started talking, Liv and Lindsay and I, 2 weeks ago. We launched this thing on Monday. I am not even in the country. I'm in Scotland right now. And we thought we'd get 300, 500, maybe 1,000 if we were really good registrants. But of course, cat ladies have massively, as usual, over-delivered. And among the millions of cat ladies, cat chaps, cat folks, dog moms, bird daddies, and everything else, who the right has foolishly angered very recently, was the amazing Rashida Lies Lockhart. Oh God, sorry. Rashonda Lies Lockhart, our incredible meeting host for tonight's very first Cat Ladies for Kamala event. It is my big honor to introduce her now. Rashonda is a Chicago-born, Mississippi-raised, and Kentucky-living business owner, author, speaker, diversity advocate, and philanthropist that rose from homelessness in 2012 to running a successful boutique, All is Fair in Love and Fashion. AIF is an empowerment movement through fashion for women of all ages, colors, and sizes across the globe. She is a social media creator that has worked with brands around the world. She also served her country in the U.S. Army and went on to attend Kentucky State University, where she earned her BA in public administration. She is an anti-bullying advocate, reproductive rights advocate, and her company yearly awards scholarships to teen mothers that attend the TAPP schools at JCPS. Let's give a big cat lady welcome for your host for tonight, Rashida Lai. I'm so nervous. Rashonda Lies Lockhart, everybody. Woo!
I just want to jump in and say that there might be some trouble with Rashonda accessing our webinar. So
For a second, and then something happened.
yes. So just give us one moment, folks. And I know that there was some confusion with the YouTube link. So I want to thank you all for going with the flow, because I'm not sure if you know, but a very small handful of people set up this call. We expected a couple hundred. We did not expect several thousands of people to join. So we knew there was going to be some technical difficulties. We knew we were going to have some cats walking on the keyboards, and that is in fact what is happening. And we're okay with that because we know we are bolstered by our wonderful cat lady community who is used to landing on all fours and going with the flow, because that's really what it's about. We're here tonight to raise money for Kamala Harris. That's ultimately what we're here for tonight. We're not here for a perfect Zoom call. We're not here to see the most famous celebrities. We're here to raise money and learn how to get involved with Kamala Harris. So I think I learned that we have already raised $28,000 for Kamala. Okay, I said 28,000 and I just got updated that it's actually $40,000 for Kamala Harris. So whatever happens on this call is going to happen on this call. That's what it is.
You're doing great, Lindsay.
Yeah. See, this is me riffing. I've got another 25 minutes of riffing prepared while we wait for Rashonda. But I do want to reiterate, as folks are migrating over to the third link we sent for this live stream at 7:16 p.m. Eastern, but we're in 4 different time zones. We are all over the place. And we are coming together to raise money for Kamala Harris. And while we wait for Rashonda, I think that we can maybe watch a video from Suffs, the Broadway musical, Blair was communicating with Emily Skinner, one of the performers over at Suffs, and they wanted to send their support for the Cat Ladies for Kamala call. And if you can believe it, we got a video from them where they reworked some of the lyrics in one of the songs on their musical, and they wanted to share it with us. And Blair, please share anything else you might want to about this
Oh
video.
no, it's some of you may have seen this video before. It's based on a song, as you said, from the musical. They, when we started planning this and launched it rather on Monday, it obviously took a while to get around. And so we've been getting a lot of last minute support and help. And just maybe 30 minutes before we went on air here, the folks from Suffs sent us this video, which you may have seen, but you haven't. You're going to love it. And they also wanted to they couldn't be on the call. It just wasn't going to work out logistically tonight, but they just wanted to give everyone their big support. And I think you know how much they love Cat Ladies. And I think you're going to know it even more after you watch this video.
I'm a childless cat lady now. I'm a childless cat lady now. I'm a childless cat lady. That shady brat lady and shady cat lady. Meow, 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 vote.
I'm Woodrow Wilson, and I approve this message.
That was amazing.
That's
That
pretty
was
good.
just for us. Yeah, and that was just for us. So despite
Well,
our
it's just for us and the internet.
come on, it's just for us.
It's just for us that they sent it, and their love was just for us.
So while we continue to navigate our technical difficulties with welcoming our host, migrating folks over to the YouTube link, we're going to carry on because that's what we do. We keep moving one foot in front of the other, and that's how we get things done. That's how we get Democrats elected. That's how we get Kamala Harris elected. So we are going to welcome our first presenter of the night. And while we just wait for Rashonda to make her way over. So we have Jasmine Ellis joining us. She is a comedian, a writer, an entertainment journalist, and a podcast host. And we are so excited to have her with us tonight.
Hi, how's it going, everybody?
Woo!
Woo! I am super excited. Blair, thank you so much for having me. So, what am I doing exactly? I'm so sorry. I don't read your emails. They're like a little too long.
You're not the only one. I mean, that's a persistent problem in my life. It's totally fine. Jasmine, you're doing your funniest 5 minutes for the cat ladies, cat mamas, and people who want to see Kamala Harris elected. And just being your dazzling self.
Okay, all right. That is super easy. And let's go. All the way from Los Angeles in her apartment, it's Jasmine Ellis. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. How's it going? Now I want to confess something real quick. I hope this is a safe space for me. I'm not a cat lady per se. I do meet the other requirements of refusing to have children. So I anger Republicans just as much, but I'm not a cat lady because, how do I explain this? If I wanted to be ignored, I'd be dating again. Like, I'm just not. I can't really get with cats as a pet. I'm not even really a dog person either. Shocking. I want you guys to know just how deeply brave I am. I am a Black woman who stands on stage night after night and tells white people I don't love dogs. Like, that is dangerous territory, but that's the truth. Now, when I say I don't love dogs, I know you guys are already seeing like my back just turning into a rescue puppy coat, but let me explain. I don't hate dogs. I just don't love dogs. I'm still kind of afraid of dogs. When I was a kid, a dog kind of jumped out at me, and it's really hard being afraid of dogs. There's no other fear that people try to fix as often. When I tell people I don't like dogs, they look at me like I'm an atheist at church. They're just like, Oh no. See, you just haven't met the right dog. Okay. Once you give your heart to dog, things are gonna change. Like they try to save me. It's the only fear you have to tell people straight up front when you come into their house. Like now I've been around, I live in LA, everyone has a dog all the time. So I'm calming down. But when I enter someone's house, the dog sees me as a threat and they have to suss me out. And so there's that moment where they start barking and I don't really interpret the barking as love. And so I get scared. So I just tell people to put their dogs away. I know I'm a monster. Okay. Nobody likes it. Nobody, and there's no other fear you would do with this. If I was afraid of heights, I would knock on doors and go, hi, just want to check. You don't have any cliffs in there, do you? Okay, cool. I'm Jasmine. I'm friends with Crystal. No. But when you're afraid of dogs, you have to tell people up front. So I started lying about it too. I had a friend, she had 2 of the most scary dogs I've ever seen in my life. Like the really terrifying breed. Like, what do you guys think is the scariest breed of dog? Just yell them out.
German
Shepherd.
Shepherd. We're gonna be.
I heard some different German Shepherd. That's a solid answer. Those are cops. Not a huge fan. But you have a job. Sometimes people say Chihuahua, which always surprises me because, like, if it came to it, I could punt a Chihuahua. I'm just saying, like, if I needed to, I am bigger than a Chihuahua. No, to me, one of the scariest breeds of dogs is bloodhounds. And let me explain. People never understand it, but they have these like droopy faces and they look sad. And that scares me because everyone else loves them and thinks they look innocent and trustworthy. So I feel like I'm going to get left alone with one and then they're going to kill me. And then my friend's going to come back and go, what did she do? What did the mean old lady do to deserve to die? What did she do? Like, it's going to be a mice of men situation, but backwards. They're just not going to feel bad for me. I can't. Y'all are well read. Y'all are well read. You're voters. I can tell you're smart people. I like you. My last joke about pets. This is the dumbest joke I ever wrote. It's the dumbest one-liner I ever wrote. But I love this joke. I wrote it like 10 years ago. I'll be like, I don't like when people call their kid. I messed it up. I don't like when people call their pets fur babies because I think that's insulting to children. If anything, a well-behaved child should be called like a skin puppy. Like, I think I'm just saying, I think a kid isn't as good as a well-behaved dog is the way that usually goes. I screwed that up. I don't know. I've been having a fun day. LA, I'm finally getting used to it. It's busy, it's chaotic. But one thing I like about Los Angeles is people have this like deep need to mind their own business. And I didn't understand that at first. I didn't understand it. I was like, why is everybody so mean? Why is everybody so standoffish? But then once I've been here for a few months and I've started to really understand how if you talk to everyone all the time, you would be in a cult by 2:00 in the afternoon. Like, you have to have your guard up just a little bit to get by. And I grew up in Texas, so everything was just talk to everyone, be friendly with everyone. Oh, by the way, I'm from Texas. Don't sound too sad. Anytime I'm talking to left-leaning women and I tell them I'm from Texas, they again look at me like a rescue puppy. They go, oh no, you're from Texas as a woman? Oh. And I have to tell people, I'm like, look, the cities are very blue. There's a lot of good people who are just stuck with gerrymandering in that state. And at the end of the day, Texas will always be my home. And one day it's all going to work out because I know that the good people who love margaritas love bodily autonomy too. I just know it. You can't like chips and salsa and not like making your own choices. You know what I mean? The people who made up tableside guac have to understand women's rights. There's good in my people. There is. I don't know. I'm a Texan. I love being a Texan. I'm from Texas. My parents are actually from Louisiana. Sometimes I get asked about my background. People are like, oh, what are you? What's your ethnicity? You know, everyone here in LA is super curious. Like, oh, what do you mix with? What's your history? And I have to be like, my mom and my dad are from Louisiana and I moved to Texas. I'm exactly like Beyonce, but broke. And that just sums it up. Good enough. That's my time. Thank you so much. I'm Jasmine Ellis. Keep supporting Harris. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. I want to, since we had some technical difficulties, I want to reintroduce our host for tonight. It is what it is. We're all rolling with it, and we're all here, and we're raising money. And before I introduce our incredible host, I want to thank you all for really putting your money where it counts, because the cat ladies have raised $117,000.
170,000.
You are so amazing. I thank you all. We're going to keep this incredible call going. It is time now to introduce our host for the night, Rashonda Lockhart.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Who is this lady? Can you hear me? Am I here? Let me know.
Yeah. Woo!
Hi. Can you hear me?
You.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, everyone. I was like, I didn't know if they could hear me or not. $117,000. What, we've been on here 20 minutes? Maybe? That is crazy. And that's okay. That's what we love. Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what was happening. You go from being on MSNBC to over here, it would have been so easy. But I had to come downstairs because Nutmeg, yeah, I'm talking about you. I can't be anywhere alone. So I had to come downstairs. How's everyone doing? So I want to tell you all a little bit about me if you don't know about me. I born in Chicago, raised in Mississippi. I have been all over. I was after high school, I was stationed in Mannheim, Germany was my first duty station. And then I was at Fort Hood, so I was in Texas. So when people do say I'm from Texas, I'm like, oh, wow, just like Florida. But it's okay. We're working on those states. It's okay. It's okay. I came to Louisville, Kentucky, broke, homeless, divorced, 4 children. I started a Facebook page called All Is Fair in Love and Fashion that turned into, look at her, already up here. Say hi, Nanot. Say hi. That started a movement into fashion that turned into a business. So I went from selling plasma to pay bills to 6-figure income from Facebook. I got my first 1099K. I was like, I'm going to jail. This cannot be legal. And it changed my whole life. Right. And since then, I have always been about giving back. Of course, I'm an advocate, a diversity advocate, anti-bullying advocate. I just don't play around with the people. And that goes back to minding your business. If it doesn't concern you, why are you bothered? Why spread hate when you can spread love? And that is something that pulled me into just wanting to be a part of this movement based on the other movement that's happening with the hate and the misinformation. And childless cat ladies, really, with no, what did he say? With no real stake in this country. I'm just being a person, a human. You have stake in this country if you're in this country. So that is exactly why there's always going to be a movement. He should have never opened his mouth about cat ladies. We will show him exactly what cat ladies do. I was like, do you want to isolate everyone? What about the women that choose not to have children, cannot have children? Or as me, my children are very much grown and out the house. So it's me and Nutmeg. I am taking care of my mom who has dementia, but it's me and Nutmeg. So I just think that he should have really just be quiet. That's all I can say. So I am your host for the evening. I'm super excited to host you. We have an amazing lineup, and I cannot wait for you all to see it. So up next, we have Erin Foley. Erin is a stand-up comic. You've seen her on Conan. She also has a women's sport podcast called Her Life. Okay, so Erin, we're ready for you.
Yay. Keep it going for Rashonda, you guys. I just discovered you, Rashonda. Now I'm obsessed with you and Nutmeg. Like, I can't stop. So we're going to be friends after
Thank
this.
you. Yes, we will.
All right. So I'm supposed to say my name. My name is Erin Foley. Pronouns, she, her. I'm wearing a black shirt. I've got brown hair, and I'm super gay. I don't know what the sign is for that, but I can't wait to see it and just use it in my personal life. I'm so excited to be here. Blair was like, hey, you want to do some jokes? There's going to be like 100 people. And then she texted 5 minutes ago. She's like, there's 1 billion people and it's being streamed live to everyone you've ever met and your mother. I'm like, oh, sweet, Blair. This is going to be great. But of course, I'm so absolutely thrilled. A big shout out to Blair and Lindsay and Liv for putting all of this on. I mean, it's just really incredible. Let me just start with saying I'm a gay, childless cat lady for Kamala, and I approve of that message. I am so fired up. And also just a real quick message for JD Vance. I'm not miserable. I'm filled with joy. So you can kiss my ass. Can I say that? I don't care. I just did. Is it just me or JD Vance's face just screams person of interest?
It does.
He is disgusting. And you can't tell me there aren't bodies buried under his porch. There are. Right?
I said that.
Right? I mean, it's just, he's horrifying. Anyway, so on to the feel good stuff. You guys, I wrote a joke about my cats like years ago, and I dusted off this puppy for this show. So let's do this. About 5 or 6 years ago, I was living in LA with my twin sister. We were in our 40s, and we had 3 cats because sometimes life just works out. So that was something. 3 cats, which is I mean, I'm obsessed with cats. And Jasmine, I do call them fur babies. 2 cats, they're sweet, sweet, sweet fur babies. And then there was the third, Big Mo. He is a wild card. He is an instigator. I don't make eye contact with him. He smokes in the house. And he gets all his energy and will to live, I don't know, around 1 a.m. in the morning. And he goes to the other bedroom and wakes up the sleeping cats. And he's like, it's go time. And that is the nightly signal that kicks off the training sessions for the 2024 Cat Olympics. It starts with the 100-meter dash, then the 200-meter dash, just running all over the house. And then the long jump, where Big Mo long jumps himself onto the bed, onto my head. I start screaming. Then the other 2 cats come in the room to measure the jump. Then there's the debut of a new sport called cabinet banging. I don't know if you're familiar with this. Just bang, 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 bang,
Yes.
bang.
Yes.
All night long. And then the crash at 4 a.m. that gets you out of bed and you run downstairs into the kitchen and the broom has been knocked over because they've started curling. And then you just snap, right? You snap. And you think, you just start screaming at them like they're people, like they understand what you're saying. You're like, I can't take this one more night. I can't. Like, I'm going to be exhausted all day tomorrow. I'm going to be a zombie. You'll be sleeping the whole day, having the best day of your life. I can't do this one more night. And then you look down, and it's just 3 cats and 6 eyeballs looking up at you like, how are we supposed to get better if we can't practice? Everybody knows how much support an Olympic athlete requires. Now, if you'll excuse us, we found some old Christmas ribbon and we're about to kick off rhythmic gymnastics. So that was my life for years, people. I love my cats. I did have my cat was Peanut Foley, R.I.P. went to cat heaven, but I'll get some more cats very soon. Okay, one last joke. I'm a huge sports fan. If you're a fan of women's sports, I've got a podcast called Her Lights. Go get it and listen to it. I was at a Dodgers game a couple weeks ago because I live in Los Angeles. And after the game, all the little kids came down onto the field to run the bases. And there was a woman sitting next to me, and she's like, oh, it's so joyful and it's so inspiring to the kids. And I said, yeah, no, it is. It's real cute. But why is it just for children? Why is it just for children? Why am I not running the bases? Because I can think of a group of people that need a lot more joy and inspiration. And that is women over 40. Yeah. Yeah. We need a lot more joy and inspiration. Let me tell you that, I just want, the Dodger game to be over, and the person on the loudspeakers like, okay, time to run the bases. Single divorced moms, come on down. And they run onto the field and they're half in the bag and they're drinking and running diagonal through the bases. Maybe they shag a player after. That's a lot of joy right there. How about this? How about women who have played softball their entire life, yet there was no opportunity to turn pro. So they're, forced to play in a lesbo rec league at 8 a.m. in, Sunday mornings in Van Nuys on the field. Them running. Pam Diane, go make your dreams happen on the field. Last one. How about women who have had terrible periods their entire life? Stay with me, cat ladies. And then it ends. And then you think, finally, I'm going to get a break. But no, menopause comes jackhammering in. And you're up all night and you're sweating and you have brain fog and insomnia. And you go to the doctor and you're like, when is this going to end? And they're like, you know what? There's actually been no research done for women's health. So we have no idea. It could go on forever. All I'm saying is I need to run the bases, people. And we need to get Kamala in office. Thank you guys so much. Donate so much money. We can do this. Love you all. Claws out.
Woohoo!
Back. What? Oh, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm excited. $175,000? What we just at 176? You know what? Amazing. Amazing work. There's nothing that we can't do. This is absolutely crazy. Okay. And how long have we been here? 30 minutes, maybe? Not even? Oh my gosh. Okay. So our next up is Miss Patricia. And I'm going to make sure that if I mispronounce it, that someone corrects me. Contreras. State Representative, Arizona Legislative District 12. When she comes on, please pronounce your name for me. I hate pronouncing people's name incorrectly. If you are here, welcome. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
Hi, thank you. Well, the correct pronunciation is Contreras, but that's really hard.
Contreras.
So we'll make it Contreras. So good evening, cat ladies, for Kamala. So I'm not a comedian, sorry. I am State Representative Patty Contreras. I'm a Latinx woman with short salt and pepper hair, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm excited to be here today to encourage cat ladies and all voters to vote for Kamala Harris for president. This is my cat, Luna. Let's see, I think I'm pointing the right way. Yeah, there we go. Cat Luna. We adopted her from a rescue agency over 10 years ago. They thought Luna would never get adopted because she was a black cat, and she was recovering from just having been spayed, but we adopted her anyway. Luna is the 5th cat I have owned, and Luna and I are 100% behind our future president, Kamala Harris. So I'm serving my first term in the Arizona House. After a career of over 30 years as a public servant, voters gave me the opportunity to continue my public service as their state representative. I'm grateful to be able to serve my community and promote legislation and services that will not only help my constituents, but the entire state of Arizona. So Vice President Harris has been to Arizona 6 times during the Biden administration, most recently at a reproductive freedom event in Phoenix. I was excited to be there to hear her speak. Kamala Harris is funny, articulate, and smart, all characteristics that other guy doesn't have. She's a champion for women's rights, including reproductive rights, rights for our LGBTQ community, and a passionate advocate for animal welfare. Just this week, I attended a Kamala for President roundtable with Reproductive Freedom for All. The speakers talked about the dangers we face if we do not elect Kamala for president. That other guy, in his Project 2025 manifesto, wants to ban abortion, IVF, and contraceptives. To protect our right to bodily autonomy, to make our own healthcare choices, to have safe abortions, it's imperative that Kamala becomes our next president. We're not going back to the alleys in Arizona. This year we had some reproductive rights victories here in Arizona. A total abortion ban dating back to when Arizona was a territory was in the news this last April. The Arizona Supreme Court had restored an 1864 law that provided no exceptions for rape or incest. To repeal this ban, a couple of Republicans in both the House and the Senate sided with us. I barely made it to the House to vote on the ban, as it was 2 days after I had a total knee replacement surgery. Repealing this ban was very important to me, so I went to the House in a wheelchair and still hurting from my surgery. This repeal was a great victory for women in Arizona. In November, we will have abortion access on the ballot. Over 7,000 volunteers got over 860,000 signatures on a citizens' initiative to allow voters to choose to protect Arizona's reproductive freedoms from the extreme bans we have seen in other states. Our voters will have the opportunity to tell the extreme right and anti-choice operatives that we want the freedom to make our own decisions. And we want politicians, not me, to stay out of, no, not all politicians, to stay out of our private healthcare decisions. Having Kamala Harris on the ballot has energized us in Arizona, and we are looking forward to this enthusiasm bringing out the vote to turn our state blue. In the Arizona legislature, we are just one seat short of both a tie in the House and Senate. 2 seats in either chamber will give Democrats the majority. We're working hard in Arizona to turn a couple of swing districts blue with the hope of gaining a majority in at least one of the chambers. Which brings me to the point of this call. My call to action for all of you. Not only do we need to vote for Kamala Harris for president, we need to vote up and down the ballot. All races, all referrals, all initiatives. Your state may have different things to vote on, but in Arizona, we are anticipating a 3-page ballot. This is unprecedented, but Republicans in the Arizona legislature didn't like that our Democratic governor vetoed some of their extreme bills, so they bypassed the governor and have put 11 referrals on the ballot. There are also 3 citizens' initiatives, including the Abortion Access Act. So things you can do: donate to the Kamala for President campaign and/or local campaigns. I know we are all asking you for money, but we need your help to win and protect our democracy. Join the Kamala for President campaign in your area, or join a local campaign for a candidate of your choice. Volunteer. We need volunteers to make phone calls, text, write postcards, canvass voters in your neighborhood. If you don't want to talk to voters, we need drivers, especially here in Arizona. I think it was 116 today. It's been a little bit warm, so drivers, we always need you with your air conditioning. I'm also encouraging having house parties with your neighbors once ballots are available. Get 4, 6, or 10 of your neighbors to come together at your house or local rendezvous spot and work through the ballot together. You can also ask a local candidate to come talk to your group. Lastly, if you have a young voting age people in your household or know some young people, encourage them to get registered to vote and vote in November. Cat ladies, people for Kamala, unite. Together we will elect Kamala Harris for president. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm Arizona State Representative Patty Contreras. My website is contrerasforaz.net. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you all can hear me now?
Yep.
All right. Listen, we have crossed the $200,000 mark already. We have crossed the $200,000 mark. If you have not given or do not know how to give, I think they have pinned how to give, but you can go to catladiesforkamala.com. All of it is through Act Blue. That's where your money is going, not to any of us. So feel free to donate and give. We are in this fight. We have less than 100 days to election. It is very important. I just want to say this. The representative touched on so many amazing things. I just want you all to know that this is a serious fight that we are up against. Our rights are literally at stake. This is a serious matter, like for real. This is a serious matter. And it affects everyone, right? I don't know about you all, but I'm not doing any handmade tail type vibe over here. Okay. That is not a fashion statement that I'm willing to be dressed in. Okay. So if you could please, please, I mean, I can't. I just can't. Every day, I mean, if I want to be like a role play, if I want to be mysterious for my boo, but not, no, I'm not doing it. And ain't nobody climbing on top of, well, anyway, the point is, I don't have anything down there. Okay. I had that taken out. I was like, listen to me. If you don't take it out, I have an ice cream scooper and a safety pin. I'll do it myself. Okay. I'm not playing around. So, and that brings me to what I was saying. In 2001, when I had my twins, I had to have an emergency C-section, right? And my ex-husband at the time was en route to the hospital. Do you know, in 2001 in Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, they will not tie your tube unless your husband is present. They refuse. Yes, they refused to tie my tube unless my husband was present. So when I say that I'm not going backward, I'm not. And my twins just turned 23, right? So it wasn't until I had my last daughter, Denasia, in Texas at Fort Hood that I told that lady, hey, if you don't do something, I'm going to do something. Okay. Number one, get rid of the husband. Number two, do something about the inside. Okay. That's what it is. So I'm super excited to Lindsay. Do you want to share the information on the phone banking? Are we going to our next guest?
Yeah, I'll share some information on the phone banking. Just to give Rashonda a little break. What an intro into phone banking, Rashonda. This is Lindsay with Cat Ladies for Kamala again. I want to quickly talk about my experiences with phone banking because that's what I have to share. It's a way to get involved that's more than donating or attending Zoom calls. And an easy way to do this is by going to mobilize.us. They make it super easy to type in your zip code and you can find a way to phone bank tomorrow. So you don't have to schedule it far in advance. And when you do phone bank, you can either go to a location or you can do it from your own computer at home. And it's really not that intimidating because you are calling people who have already agreed to be contacted. So you're not calling anyone that's going to put up a fight. When the Get Out the Vote campaign starts closer to the election, you might be calling to remind people to vote, or you might be calling them to support a local candidate, or of course, Kamala Harris. And really, it's just reminding people, keeping that name, Kamala Harris, in their mind, because when people vote, Democrats get elected. So it's important just to keep reminding people not everyone is as engaged as we are here on this call. So anything that you can do, and phone banking is something that might feel intimidating. And it was to me, to be honest. But then when I did it, I was like, oh, this isn't a big deal. And I got to talk to some people that I wouldn't have spoken to otherwise. And I found that to be a personally rewarding thing as well. So that's my little spiel about phone banking. I hope you'll consider it. As Liv said at the beginning of this call, if you want something to happen that's never happened before, like elect a woman to be the president of the United States, you got to do something you've never done before. So go out on a limb, try it. I promise your cat will be there waiting for you if it was scary, and they'll comfort you. So I'll throw it back to Rashonda now. Claws out 2024.
Thank you so much. for that, Lindsay. And I would just add to that, in training in Emerge, Kentucky, if you all don't know about it, it is a nonprofit program that trains Democratic women to run for office. You can check in your state if you have one, but that is something that we learned about. You learn everything about fundraising, knocking on doors, signage. If you're running for office, that goes back into, like, for me, it was easier because I also have a business. So getting the right logo, getting the right message across, all of that matters. And for someone like myself that is an introvert, you really have to push yourself. As Lindsay was saying, if you want something to change, you have to do something different. So I am not a door knocking person. I am not a phone person, but I became that person, especially when it's for a cause that it matters and it's near and dear to your heart. And for me, even though I did not win my race, I did come in second my first time running to a 20-year incumbent. I was probably like 100 votes away. So for city council here in Louisville, but all of that training prepared me to do the things that I do now, and getting outside of my comfort zone. So if you want to get involved in a campaign, please do so, and you won't regret it at all. Okay. So we have surpassed we are at $242,000 raised. I know we can get to $300,000, $242,000 raised in 40 minutes. In 40 minutes, we can do this. So I am super excited about this. Just know that every bit matters. $2, $5, $10, $20, whatever you want to give, all of it matters. This has to get done. Okay. So I want to go ahead. I'm going to introduce our next guest, if that is okay. Lindsay, are we ready for our next guest? Jessica Decor. I hope I'm saying it. Decor. I like Decor. That might not be it, but I like it. She'll correct me. With Veronica and Baby Boo. Jessica Decor is a content creator behind Veronica and Baby Boo and has a PhD. Her cats are Veronica, Eugene, and the Baby Boo. I am super excited. Okay.
Wow, I can't believe we're really here. Me either. So let me get this straight. Trump's ear was tipped, and he was released back into the feral community, and then he turned around and picked this milksop Mephistopheles.
Yeah, who, in a misguided attempt at humor, invoked the cat lady trope.
Well, I don't know how my species became fodder for right-wing political attacks, but knowing what I do about Christian nationalist men and their predilections, I can only assume it's because it takes more than a little peanut butter to trick us into licking your...
What we have to do is convince people to vote.
Okay.
You know, one of the central arguments of men who opposed women's suffrage was that there are more of us than there are of them. Well, it remains true to this day. So here is a tutorial for having these important conversations with potential voters.
Okay.
First thing is to threaten and intimidate. Now, this is going to involve a lot of pointing. Now, you may find pointing rude, but in this case, it's very effective. The goal is to get them to back down. So remind them what a shitstorm their actions would summon, and give them a guided tour through the worst-case scenario. It's very important to have a mean face. This one is my best mean face, but you should practice in the mirror. You can also make bring it on type gestures. But the next step is key. It is to follow through. Thump. Giving them 1 or 2, even 3 or 4 thumps on the head shocks them into some sense, hopefully. It also efficiently communicates to them the seriousness with which they need to be taking this matter. Finally, walk away in disgust. This is especially effective on those with mommy or daddy issues. But do it as bitchy as you can, because like I said, it works and it leaves your target just absolutely rethinking everything.
Okay, well, as I will say, victim of this technique, I can attest that it really just makes me want to do the opposite of what you say. So maybe more words and less, this.
All right, fine. Listen up, folks. For too long, the idea of the cat lady has been used to bully, belittle, and diminish women. So long, in fact, that the only point J.D. Vance proved when he used it is that he's a hack. But we don't have to forfeit this country to these dollar store authoritarians. So to J.D. Vance and his ilk, I say this. Women are so much more than your ugly words and your tiny thoughts could ever contain. We will not be silenced. We are here to fight, and we don't tire easily. We are done letting small men get in the way of the inclusive and truly just America that we envision. No, we will not go back to the alleys because we are here to build a society greater than your impotent policies and your feeble masculinity. The future is bright, my friends, and with your support, Kamala Harris will lead this nation into a new era of progress and hope. Now let's make history together. Who's with me?
That was absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, you all, over $250,000 raised. We're at 255,000 or 50. This is crazy. Oh, I absolutely love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We truly appreciate that. Don't forget, we're having a group photo at the end of the call. So make sure your cat is around. That Meg is literally right here. Like I don't know if she works security or what is happening, but she's not moving. Even though she's cleaning herself. She's right here. So who's back? Veronica? Okay, yeah. Listen, you all have done an amazing job. Is Jessica? Okay, yay. Jessica is all right. So up next, we have Elizabeth Booker Houston. Is that correct? Do we have?
Oh, sorry. I think we were going to have, if Jessica could talk, she was having some technical difficulties. If she wanted to say a little bit about the video we just played.
Yes. Oh, Jessica, yes, please. Come on.
So,
hi, Jessica.
If you can, hi. Yeah, I had to restart my phone, re-download the app. So that was a little crazy. And so I just wanted to thank everybody for being here. If you promise that you will give money, I might be able to show you a little something here. Well, we have Veronica here. She wants to say hello. She apologizes. I do want to say one more time that Verona Boo Studios in no way condones violence. Veronica, it's just part of their thing that they have, even though really Baby Boo never does it back. But here is the Baby Boo. More money, more money. See, she wants you to get the money so bad. Look how bad she wants you to get money. Now, speaking of money, I have a question actually for J.D. Vance. If I could just really quick, if I can flip my camera. Although I don't have to flip my camera, but it would be easier. Okay, so I know that this looks familiar to you. I know you recognize this. Okay, now explain this. Okay? Now we haven't done a DNA test. But these don't just come from some factory, okay? Look at this. And while we're at it, what's going here? How did this happen? And I don't even know how you survived this. But I just want you to know that I have spoken to all three of these pieces of furniture, they have agreed to be in the front row at the debate. In fact, they will be the front row at the debate. Because you sit on them because they're furniture. Okay. Do I have anything to add to that? Oh, yes. Another thing I would suggest he think about is that we are told that God created dogs to remind us that we were created in God's image. But similarly, God created cats to remind us that he made us from dirt. So thank you. And Veronica says, thank you. Give money, give money, give money, give money. And Baby Boo says, Baby Boo's serious about it too. She says, give money or else you'll get side eye. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. That's my time.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Listen, yes, Nutmeg is still cleaning herself, but she also wants you to give. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, okay. She's ready to say something. Nutmeg, please, okay? Because you've been acting Hollywood ever since you've been booked. Okay, so I know that it is important and that we need to have everyone, okay, everyone involved. If they're not on the call, get them involved in some way. You can also go to catladiesforkamala.com. We have $271,000 raised. 271. We are closing in on the $300,000 mark. That is absolutely crazy. Thank you all so much. Every piece matters. Every little bit matters. Okay. Next up, we have Elizabeth Booker Houston. Houston is a lawyer, social scientist, professor, stand-up comedian, and political content creator. Okay, let's go.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
Hey.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hey. So a lot of y'all might know me as Booker Squared on my socials on TikTok and Instagram. But my name is Elizabeth Booker Houston, and my pronouns are she, her. I am a mid-30s woman who sometimes can look mid-20s because Black don't crack. And, you know, transitioning from that, I am a Black woman, although a lot of times white people think I'm Indian because they can't tell mixed people apart. Mixed people just really confuse them, if y'all didn't know. There's a lot going on with that. Best way to describe my ethnicity is if I were engaged to JD Vance, excuse me, it's disgusting. I threw up a little bit. He would say, well, she's not white, but I still love her. That's what he would say. So that's the best way to describe my ethnicity. So I do a lot of political content online, and I also do political comedy. I do want to tell y'all just about like an experience that I had recently. It's first of all, just being a progressive, I feel like there's a very clear divide between us and Republicans and what they have going on when it comes to addressing social issues. I always say that we can take the example of an unhoused person on the street. You can tell that I'm progressive because I said unhoused instead of homeless. So if there's an unhoused person on the street, right, a progressive is going to go, oh my gosh, they're just trying to make it in a world that's not safe for them. They're just trying to make it in society and learn how to function, right? But a Republican will say, ugh, they don't have a job. They don't work. They contribute nothing. They're a menace, right? And so like that's a very clear divide with like progressives and Republicans, just like a clear example. But I see a lot of lovely people without color on this Zoom call, and I appreciate what the white ladies are doing, but I do want to make sure you know that there is a difference between white progressives and Black progressives. Okay. So like to describe this difference. Okay. So like if I'm walking down the street with like Blair, right? If I'm walking down the street with Blair and we see that unhoused person, she might say, hey, you know what? Let's buy them some food. I would say, yeah, let's buy them some food. That's a really good idea. Let's do that. And then she might say, you know what? Let's talk to them and figure out their story because they are a human being. So let's talk to them. Like, you know, give them some time. I'll say, yeah, let's talk to them. But then she might say, hey, we just want to give you a hug. Wait a minute, bitch. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. We just had a whole pandemic. White progressives, I love y'all, but y'all move a little different. And Black folks, especially in the South, we like our distance because folks, we sweat down there. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. It's too musty to be getting that close to people, even if they're not unhoused, right? So we just don't do that. But yeah, so I am a cat lady who does have also a human child. You know, still a cat lady. You can see in my background photo here. So this is Meredith Gray. She is my Siamese Bengal mix. And over here is Quincy Jones. He is my Black domestic short hair. And I love them so much. But I did decide to have a human child, which made Republicans go, yay. But then it turns out he's disabled. And they were like, no, not like that. So, you know, surprise, you know, mom with a disability made a kid with a disability. Who knew? Anyway, so had my son. He's 4.5 now. And he is batshit crazy. So he has a total lack of survival skills, which if you didn't know, they don't come with those when they're born, which is very upsetting for me personally. So we moved into a new townhome where there is like a half wall to the stairs. And for some reason, he's decided that he wants to yeet himself over that half wall head first. So I decided that I needed to baby proof that half wall, and there's not really a clear way to do it. You can't put up like a baby gate. You can't put like a net. Like it's really weird. And then I got the idea looking at my cats to get this thing. It's like one of those mats. It's got like little rubber spikes. It's like, you know what I'm saying? They got the little, it deters the cats from jumping onto surfaces, right? So I figured I could put that on the half wall because if it's good enough for the cats, it's good enough for my son. They were here first. So I went ahead and put these little rubber spikes on the half wall and I brought my son over to it and I was like, hey, baby. And I touched his hand on it and he pulled his hand back and gave me a stink eye and then walked off. And it was in that moment I realized that parenting has made me more Republican because I'd put homeless spikes in my house to deter my baby. So I had transitioned very quickly from, oh my God, he's just trying to make it in a world that's not safe. He's just trying to learn how to function in society. And now I look at my son and just shake my head and scowl and go, he don't even work. He don't contribute anything. He's a menace because he is. So that is my little story that I have for you guys about my political shift. But I also want to share just one last thing with y'all because if you follow me on social media, or if you go to my social media, you will learn that I am extremely politically incorrect with the way that I present politics and law. And I also enjoy clapping back at people. I am incredibly mean. You will see various descriptions of Republican politicians, such as, you know, I said that Thomas Earl Emmer Jr. looked like a saggy, discarded foreskin. Judge Kaczmarek looks like a unseasoned chicken breast. You know, you're going to find all the fun descriptors for these people. But one series that I do is I call it my clapback series, and that's where I share clapbacks from my comment section. And I did post a fresh video today, which you are more than welcome to go watch. But I wanted to share a clapback that I didn't post in that video. This was on a video that I made about Project 2025 and trad wife culture and how it's connected because they want women barefoot and pregnant and unempowered and all that stuff that we know about. So this guy said, oh, please, this is weird. And I responded with, I know, J.D. Vance is so weird. And then another guy came in the conversation and said, and pet butt plug is not. You motherfuckers have such a double standard, LOL. To which I replied, you have a pet butt plug? I mean, okay, that's kind of weird, but I guess you'd rather have that than a pet cat. And also, if you're going to talk about putting things in your rear, maybe don't do it from an account with your baby in your profile picture because that's super weird. Anyway, I'm Elizabeth Booker Houston. I will be on tour all October, hitting up Phoenix, San Diego, Nashville, Memphis, and DC. Atlanta is TBD, where I will be talking about politics, mobilizing voters, talking about what's on the ballots, all the initiatives, politicians, what they're running for, and also just how to organize at a local, state level and not just worry about national politics. So thank you all so much. My fellow cat ladies, like they say, claws out. So see y'all.
I absolutely love her. Absolutely, absolutely. She reads everyone for Phil, and I just love it. We are closing in on $300,000 raised. We're at $290,000. 6,200 donations have been given, and I know that we can do this. Okay. Also, you can go to mobilize.us if you want to get involved, if you want to be a part of the campaigns in your area. Please do so. Okay. It is imperative. We need everyone possible. Okay. Make sure that you are gathering in your groups, you're having your house parties. We're going to get this done. I know that we are. Next up, we have Jessica Benham. She is a state representative of Pennsylvania House District 36. Jessica has a BA degree in political science and in communication studies from Bethel University. An MA in communication from Minnesota State University, and an MA in bioethics from the University of Pittsburgh. She lives in the South Side Slope with her cat, Ravi. Ravi? I like to say Ravi. Maybe it's Ravi. I'm going to say.
It's Ravi, and he is right here with me. I'm Pennsylvania State Representative Jessica Benham. I live in the South Side Slopes of Pittsburgh, as was mentioned, and I have the wonderful honor of getting to work in Pennsylvania's state government. It can be incredibly fun and incredibly exhausting at the same time. But, for us in Pennsylvania, as a thoroughly purple state, we're in this unique position of having the state house be run by the Democrats and the state Senate be run by the Republicans. And as you can imagine, that creates a lot of opportunities for conflict. And because I am such a cat lady, I actually bring my cat with me to the Capitol. He is very people oriented. He's currently mad he's not getting all of the attention. So you may hear some meowing in the background. And you can follow along. He's got Twitter and Instagram if you want to see all of his various hijinks in the Pennsylvania State Capitol building. But the ability to bring my cat to work not only helps me deal with the stressors of serving as an elected official, but helps a ton of other people who work in that building. I always say he gets more visitors than I do. So when somebody insults the cat ladies of the world, I take that pretty personally, because at the end of the day, not only are cat ladies serving their communities in all different ways, whether we're talking about in elected office or otherwise, but cats offer such wonderful joy to our world, such opportunity for laughter, and I just think that's incredibly important, especially at a time where we are dealing with what sometimes feels like a lack of hope. And so I want to talk about that a little bit, because I don't know if you all are like me, but I am really feeling this renewed sense of hope with Vice President Harris running for president. It's really sad that we're in this space where we're still talking about historical firsts. So I was the first openly autistic woman elected to Pennsylvania's General Assembly. It was also the first out queer woman elected to Pennsylvania's General Assembly. And so I really am ready for there to stop being historical firsts. But given that we haven't yet had a woman president, and certainly given that we haven't yet had a Black woman president, I am super pumped and all in for VP Harris. I think that people will talk a lot about identity politics, and they'll talk about it in kind of this negative way. But the truth is that we legislate and we govern from our lived experiences. For better or for worse, we walk into the halls of government, and the decisions that we are making from the experiences that we've had in life. So certainly as a white woman, that's something that I think about a lot. As I'm checking myself on the decisions that I make. But as I look at the opportunity to have a Black woman serve as our president, I am really pumped about what that means for our government. But we have a lot of work to do, and that's why calls like this are so important. If we want to protect our bodily autonomy, if we want to fight for changes to our criminal legal system, if we want to protect our environment, if we want to make sure that no matter where kids live, they can have an excellent education and they can feel safe in their communities, we have to put in the work. And that means knocking doors. It means donating. It means organizing our neighbors to also volunteer and give money. Coming from Pennsylvania, where I know that this election is going to come down to what we would call a field margin, I can tell you that every single door knocked matters, and every single dollar given does too. You may think, oh, I'm just one person. What do those 30 doors that I'm going to knock on a weekend mean? That's what the election could come down to in Pennsylvania. I've had some of my colleagues whose elections have come down to a couple dozen votes, right? That close. And so when we are talking about making sure that we protect our democracy in key states with tight margins, we need folks out there door knocking, making calls, writing postcards, giving money, all of those really, really critical, important things. But what I want to make sure that folks don't do is write off places that maybe we just assume are going to be Republican, are going to go red, right? Let's not write off those places either, because when we do that, we make the mistake of thinking that investments now won't pay off down the road. The organizing work that we have been doing in Pennsylvania for decades as Democrats is why it's become still difficult, but easier and easier for us to deliver electoral votes from this state for Democrats up ticket. It matters for local races, it matters for statewide races, and certainly it matters, of course, for the top of the ticket as well. And so my commitment as a Purple State Democrat is to continue to do that organizing here. But I also want to encourage folks, help those Democrats who are in states that we would call red states, because the investments we make now there will pay off in the future, because that's what we're seeing in Pennsylvania too. So that is all from me. Feel free, folks who are in Pennsylvania or otherwise, reach out. I'm pretty easy to find. And of course, like I said, you can always follow along with Ravi online. He's going to come on up here. Here he is. And I'm going to have him give a little fist bump to everybody who is, come on, bud. We got to get the camera just right. You have to.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Fist bump? You have to give the fist bump before you can have the treat. There we go.
Oh.
So best of luck, everybody, with the community organizing that you all are doing. And definitely keep donating, and I will see all you fellow cat ladies around.
Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you. We did it, you all. We hit the $300,000 mark. Yay, Nutmeg, come here. Yay, bye. So listen, I'm going to let Liv do the call to action. Stella, Tiny Cat, we're going to talk about door knocking. Also, don't forget, if you would like to participate, go to mobilize.us so you can participate in your area. Liv?
Like a newbie, I was muted.
Oh, okay.
All right. So me and Stella's back. We want to talk a little bit about door knocking. A lot of people, when I talk to folks, how can I get involved? What can I do? If I bring up door knocking, the response a lot of the time is, that's too scary. So what I want to talk about is what actually happens when you sign up for a door knocking or canvassing shift. So you're going to do 3 things. You're going to sign up and show up. You're going to get trained when you get there. Nobody sends you off with a list and goodbye. They train you. They give you all of the materials you need. And then the third thing is you're going to get a list of doors to knock that are already Democratic voters. So you're not knocking on every door. You're not going to run into scary situations. You're knocking on the doors of houses of people who have already voted Democrat. 2 tips that I would ask that I would want to give you again to make it less scary is 1, either go with somebody who is experienced, or when you get to the precinct, ask to be paired up with somebody who is experienced, because canvassing is always 2 people. You're never sent out on your own. If you're going with a friend and neither of you have done this before, you can ask the precinct captain. And if there are precinct captains on the call, I want to tell you this too. Ask to be paired up with another pair. So there's 4 of you going on your very first shift. It's going to make it a lot easier to get trained. You're going to get the hang of it after 3 or 4 doors, and then you can go off on your own again. Another couple tips. So one person who is unfortunately unable to join us is Alyssa Mastromonaco, the genius podcast host of Hysteria, together with Erin Ryan on Crooked Media. Her 2 tips, similar to what Rep. Contreras already told you, engage locally. Every race matters. The top of the ticket for the White House, super important. Every city council seat, every school board seat, every state rep, state senator, everything. Let's turn everything blue. Engage locally. Her second tip, one way to get involved that often gets forgotten, so I'm really glad she reminded us. You can sign up to help drive people to the polls when early voting is happening or on election day. A really good resource for this is the website Rideshare to Vote. And it is rideshare, one word, 2, the number 2, vote.com. So if you can go check that out, find volunteer shifts, you can help get people to vote. So I hope you feel better, Alyssa, if you're able to watch us. We love you. Finally, I've been looking at Twitter, because it's Twitter, a lot of during our call. Let's get Claws Out 2024 trending. If every single person, and there's a lot of you on the YouTube, if everybody posts something on Twitter with Claws Out 2024, let's see if we can get this trending. Final thing, I want to reiterate the point made a few times already. If you want something you have never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. A lot of this stuff is scary. Get out of your comfort zone. You heard our amazing host share. She did this. You can too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Now, door knocking can be scary, but as Liv stated, you are not just cold knocking, right? Oh my God, we have passed 300,000. Okay, we are not just cold knocking. You are going to people that are already registered as Democrats. If you don't want to do that, then you can work the phone bank. If you don't want to do that, you can donate. You have to do something though. We cannot just sit idly by and hope. I'm not sure if you all remember, but I remember waking up in 2016 devastated. Do you remember? I want somebody else to share the morning after when you found out that Hillary did not win. I mean, gut wrenching. I was sick. My children were sick. I don't want that feeling. I do not want that feeling at all. I distinctly remember how I felt, and I just can't go back. I just don't want to. So please, please, please get active in any form of government, local, state, national, please. Do your research, which is also why I really feel like we need to bring back the Dewey Decimal System. Do we still have card catalogs in the library? Like, what happened to getting out and researching? Or bring back MySpace. Remember when you wanted the codes the way that you wanted it for your page? You had to go find it, research it, put it yourself. People stopped researching, which is why we end up with misinformation in the first place. A quick Google search would save a lot of people a lot of trouble. So I just want you all to do your homework and then get out and vote. Do your homework and donate. Do your homework and volunteer on your local, state level. Please, all of it matters, okay? Do not forget to go to mobilize.us so that you can find something to do in your area. And don't forget, at the end of the call, we're having a group cat call. So I want everyone to gather your pet if you can, okay? Our next speaker is Lori Kilmartin. She's a stand-up comedian, an Emmy-nominated WGA award-winning comedy writer. She was a staff writer for all 11 years of Conan on TBS and has performed stand-up on Conan, Late Late Show with James Corden, and Comedy Central, which I love all of that. Come on, Lori.
Oh, hey, thank you, Rashonda. That was a lovely intro. Well,
And
I'll
knew
start
I had
with
seen you before.
oh, hey, that's cool. For just to get the stuff out of the way, I am a she, her. I am a white lady. My hair should be blonder, but I will talk to my hairdresser about that. I am not at my goal weight. I'm wearing like a little peach top and a JD Vance amount of eyeliner. I don't know if you can see, but I put his pickup every morning and I just get in there with the blue and the green. Mine's temporary. I'm not as bold as he is, but he is my inspiration. I'm not a childless cat mom. I am a single mom. And here's the thing. I say thank you to the childless cat ladies for taking the heat for a little while. Because Republicans usually go right after the single moms when they're trying to, scare up votes. So they were detoured a little bit. So I just want to thank you for taking it. I think they'll pivot to us pretty soon. But watching how you guys have dealt with it is really inspiring. And I'm sure we'll have a single moms for Kamala pretty soon. Now, here's the thing. I am close to being childless because my son is 17 and a half. Like, I'm done, guys. My shift is almost over. That's how I feel. And people always go, oh, you never stop being a mom. I'm like, watch me. I possibly never started. But here's the thing. I have a little genetic condition and my doctor said, he goes, your son might have this. So you should make sure he gets an MRI when he's 40. And I'm not going to be making his doctor appointments when he's 40. Okay. I'm going to be busy hoeing it up in a senior center. I will be bringing all strains of syphilis to the villages. That's how I'm gonna turn Florida blue. I'm getting every STD I can and I'm bringing it to the villages. Okay, it's a long-term project, but just be patient with me. But then I was like, oh, my kid is he'll probably never make a doctor appointment. So what I did is I went into my Gmail and I set up an email to go to my son in the year 2046. All right. And then I was like, why stop there? So in 2056, he's going to get a shingles vaccine reminder from me. And then in the year 2096, just a quick little note, see you soon. From his creepy mom in the grave. Listen, I don't have a cat. I think most comics don't have animals because we're gone a lot, and it's probably not good. But I do have a dog because I have a son that helps take care of my dog. We got the dog. She was a puppy when we got her during lockdown, and she was. And what that is basically, and I have to say, watching a fellow female mammal go through that was really fascinating. You know, I don't know why the ASL interpreter, she left on this bit. That's okay, guys. You don't need this one. She's like, I give up. I'm not going here. Because dogs handle differently than we humans do, right? Like I came home, there was white spots all over my little white carpet, and had I destroyed somebody's white carpet like that, I would have been mortified. I would have run away to a kill shelter and jumped in an oven, okay? Not this dog, wagging her tail, flinging clots everywhere, ruining hundreds or tens, actually, of dollars worth of clothing. It was valued at hundreds, and it was on, she didn't know it was on sale. Here's my point. It made me appreciate women. All the women that are watching, all the women that are here tonight, I appreciate how tidy you are, okay? Because you don't have to be. It's not the law, okay? You guys could be out there free bleeding like dogs, and you're not. And for that, I say thank you. You know, but then I started thinking, this country is really turning its back on women. We're losing a lot of our rights. Abortion rights are coming for contraceptive rights. Maybe it's time we women start reminding everybody how gross we can be. They've forgotten our true terrorist powers. I bet there's at least 3 ladies on this chat on YouTube on a heavy flow. Okay, I remember those days. You don't want to do anything on a day like that. You just want to sit, watch TV, Netflix, and spill. Okay? But you're up, you're out, you plugged up real good. You put in a Super Plus and another Super Plus and a shoe and a bucket and debris from the streets. All so you don't make a mess. Well, I challenge one of you ladies to pull that clutter out right now. Ruin your, I forgot where this bit's going. Ruin your surroundings. I'm used to telling it in a club and telling women to drown the club in their red fury. Okay? You can DM me after the show, be like, Lori, I destroyed my block. And I'll be like, good job, soldier. Now you rest, because next month we march on Whole Foods. Clean up on every aisle. All right, I'll do one more thing. I got the clocks. Listen, J.K. Rowling has just been unbearable recently. I mean, she is new levels of awfulness, and everyone seems to hate her now because she's anti-trans. And I say, yeah, you know what? Welcome to my world. I've been hating this lady for a long time, okay? Because I had to read Harry Potter books after my son. And by the 3rd book, I was like, I hope these kids die, okay? And take Hagrid. Even know what that accent is, all right? By the way, J.K. Rowling is not a good writer, and I can tell you this because I had to read her words out loud for years. She uses too many adverbs. She absolutely, positively, totally, completely uses too many adverbs. That is the classic J.K. Rowling sentence right there. Maybe if this lady hated adverbs as much as she hates pronouns, she'd be a better writer. Claws out. Go for Kamala. Bye.
My Lord, Lori's gonna get us locked up. As soon as she said that, I thought about when Mufasa run his finger over Simba's head. If we did that without never mind. Don't do that. Don't start marking up people. Just don't. Listen. Thank you so much, Lori. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Blair, final call to action we're doing. We have $310,000 raised, I believe. This is amazing. Okay. Now, don't forget mobilize.us if you want to participate. Also to give catladiesforkamala.com. All right, Liz. Blair, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hey guys, yes, please remember that ActBlue link of ours on our website is going to stay open. If you didn't give today, or you know some people who'd like to give, by all means, go to that ActBlue account today, tomorrow, into the future. And this is our first event. We don't suspect it's going to be our last event. They may be different kinds of events, but thank you to everybody who's participated. In particular, Liv and Lindsay and I, we somehow assembled this crack team in like 3 minutes to help us get this going. And despite the kerfluffles at the beginning, which we apologize for, that we kind of knew might happen based on the past calls, we want to thank so much to our ASL interpreters, to one of our content creator, Natalie McGill, to Stephanie, who's been doing admin, to Landon and Jeremy. We got those boys working in the chats and trying to keep everything straight. And just to all of our speakers and all of the comedians, you can see their names, their information on our website too. So you should follow them and look into the work that they're doing, the important work a lot of them that our political leaders and other influencers and researchers are doing, who you've seen tonight. And so if you like them, please, and I'm sure you did, by all means, follow them and keep in touch with them as well as with us. Now, in a minute, I'm going to give you some information, some pro tips about what your goals for a house party should be if you were going to assemble some friends and some acquaintances together, kind of like we're doing today, but maybe on a smaller scale, a little more personal. Maybe there are appetizers. But before we do that, I wanted to let you know that when I'm done, we are going to have our group picture. All the speakers and the comments and the political leaders who have been here with us today, who are able to stay on, we're going to all unmask. We're going to all reveal ourselves on video, and then we want you to, if you can wrangle your cats, by all means, please pick them up and get your camera ready. And we want this action, right? We want you to take your picture in front of the screen with all the speakers and their cats and everybody else, and you can use it just for your own. You can put it in a frame just for yourself, or you can share it on social media. You can tag us. You can do all kinds of stuff with it, but we want you to have your memento of this amazing first Cat Ladies for Kamala event. And I can't even tell you what a whirlwind it's been. I'm not even in the country right now. By the way, these are my cats. If I didn't show them, like, I couldn't go home. So those are my babies up there, Hank, Sookie, George. Yes, Sookie like Sookie Stackhouse. Anyway, so take this little time here. I'm killed a little time to give you a chance to wrangle those cats and to get your camera ready and everything else. Okay, so house party, just make it the kind of party you would want to have or go to. You know your friends and acquaintances and family. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you like barbecues, have a barbecue. If you like beach parties, I don't know. Beach parties. What do people do? I'm a comic. I don't get invited to a lot of parties, but I hear they're fun. So whatever kind of party you like to have, that's the kind of party you should have. And here's some of your tips. And remember, we want to have a party because we want elections. We want this election to be able to have a party the day after the election. I don't know how many people, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you called in sick in 2016, the day after that election when Trump won. I did. I absolutely called in sick, and I was sick. And so we don't want a wake at the day after the election. We want a big old birthday party, and we're going to keep on celebrating through the inauguration. So, and same for your Senate candidates that you need to elect and your House candidates you need to elect. So here are some of our very basic goals, right? We don't, like I said, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. You want to sort of ask, they don't have to sign nothing, but we want to ask and say out loud, yes, I am committed to vote for Kamala. If I'm going to be out of town, if I'm going to have a conflict, I'm going to, send in my absentee ballot, whatever it takes. We want them to encourage people to host their own house parties. Does that sound a little bit like an MLM situation? A little bit, but in a good way. So we want people who come to your house parties then spin off and do their own house parties with other friends, relatives, acquaintances. And we also want people to tell their candidates who the House and Senate candidates in their district who are going to support Kamala Harris, and more importantly, just oppose really authoritarian agendas, who they are, not just Kamala Harris. That is extremely important. But we need, if she doesn't have a Senate and a House of Representatives who's going to support her in doing some of these important things, whether it be with the Supreme Court or environmental or codifying Roe, then she's just going to be handcuffed. She's not going to have any power to do what needs to be done. So that is, we need to get that agenda passed. So again, my name is Blair Postman. Thank you so much to Rashonda. Can we get some love for Rashonda and everybody else you saw tonight? So I think, do we have a final update on what we've raised? Even though this is not the end, the link stays open. Do we have a final update on how much we've raised?
Let's see. $317,000.
All right, guys. I expect it to be 400,000 by tomorrow morning.
Yes.
You guys are
say 500,000.
You know what? You know what, Rashonda? You're right. I'm aiming small. $1 million. No, but thank you, everybody. Not everyone can give. And if you can't, you're not in a position to give right now, that is totally fine. There's so many things you can do. And it might just be as simple as registering to vote or getting some of your friends to vote. And so now I think I'm going to turn it over to Liv or Lindsay to sort of call. Are we all ready for our cat picture? Who wants to do the 3, 2, 1 shoot?
Well, we're gonna have to take some time to do the cat photo because
Okay,
so Rashonda, maybe you could kind of recap what we've done on the call and talk about how much.
Of course.
So yeah, I think you're the voice of the call. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And everyone, take your pictures.
Yes, please grab your cat. It's time to take pictures. Listen, we were minding our own business, okay? And JD Vance decided that he wanted to open his mouth about cat ladies and then double down about it. So we have decided to show up and show out. We've raised $318,000 tonight, and we will continue to do so. This has been an amazing call. Oh my Lord, I don't have a cat, so I'm holding a cat. It's okay. Whatever you have, whatever animal, inanimate object, a makeup brush, whatever you have that you love, hold it up. I know, Nanette. I know. Hold it up and take a picture. We have done an amazing job. Thank you all for showing up. The link to donate will stay open. I'm gonna say, oh, it's so cute. I'm gonna say $1 million. We know we can do that. We can do it. Okay. But tonight you all have did an amazing job. An amazing job. Thank you to all the guests, all the speakers that came on. Please grab your pet so that we can take the picture and show that cat ladies show up. Okay. And whether you have a cat or not, it doesn't matter. You're a cat lady. You're on here with us. And that's all. We have a lot of work to do, but it is possible. Okay. This is what happens when we come together. Ready? Oh, get my photo. I know, PP. I know.
Look, Lena's a cat chat.
And here's the crazy part. Nutmeg just recently started meowing and speaking. She was silent from the time I got her until maybe 2 months ago. So I'm glad you're meowing. Yeah. I thought something was wrong. I took her to the vet. You know what he said to me? He said, Nutmeg is one of those, it's like one of those people that don't really talk, but when she says something, it will be profound. And I said, give me my money back. I know I didn't come all the way over here for you to tell me that. Anyway, she's talking. Have you grabbed your pet? Have you taken your picture?
While people are doing this, one really quick interjection. I'm looking at the 318. Let's get it to 320. So I'm going to be matching the next $500 donations. Y'all spend $500. I spend $500. Let's go.
Yes, we just hit 320.
Yeah.
See? Ooh. Nutmeg, we did it.
Yay. This is amazing.
I finally got Meredith. She was under my bed. She was in the middle, like she and Quincy were both like under it in the middle where I couldn't get to them. And she finally came out.
Aw.
She's huffing and flicking
Good
her
job,
tail, so
Meredith.
I got 2 seconds before she just loses it.
Same.
Go out
I
and,
think
and adopt a cat.
did we hit our $500 match? If we did, then I think it might be time to say good night. Did we hit it?
I think so. I'm seeing 320. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you all so much for donating. Remember, use the hashtag #ClawsOut2024. Thank you for rolling with us. Cat ladies, you're incredible. We will see you on socials. We will follow up. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.